to a point when I was like, Lorraine, no one's coming to save you. No one is coming to rescue you. I'm my own superwoman, you know. I'm my own superhero. That I did not even realize the amount of negativity that I was pouring into myself on a day-to-day basis. So no wonder I was still insecure, and no wonder I wasn't as confident and self-assured as I wanted to be. Do you know how expensive it is to not believe in yourself? That's the most expensive bill that you can give to yourself. Some of my actions, behavior, and habits were deep rooted in seeking male validation. The idea that I had in my 20s of the dream woman that I wanted to be is so far off to the dream woman that I'm actually becoming in my 30s. When I was in my 20s, I used to hold so much emphasis on the external and tangible things as the components that would aid me to become the best version of myself, like the way that I would dress, the way that I would look, the kind of car I would have, the kind of house I would live in, and designer items that I would have in my collection. And don't get me wrong, those are very important things that will aid me into having the dream life that I want, but not into becoming the dream woman that I want to be. So even though I've learned, and I'm still learning a lot about myself, for life, developing and reinventing myself to become my dream woman, there are a lot of bad habits that I had to give up and unlearn in order for me to transform myself into the woman that I've always wanted to be. You see, it's not just creating new habits that will help to transform your life. I think that's actually the easy part. The difficult part is unrooting and unlearning all your old habits and mindsets and ideas that you had that are prohibiting you from transitioning into becoming the woman of your dreams. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys, the habits that I had to give up and unlearn in order for me to become my dream woman. If you're new, hello, my name is Lorraine and I'm your self-care soul sister. We're a good vibe over here, so subscribe to our channel and join our soft living space. I want to make it very clear what I mean when I'm talking about habits. It's not necessarily what you do that reinvents you into your dream woman. You could be journaling, you could have an unwired routine, you could be in therapy, but that is self-care, or even soul care, which is basically looking after yourself. You could be a self-proclaimed self-care queen like myself and still be the nightmare version of you. The kind of habits that I'm referring to is the habits that are linked to your mindset, because your mindset is what's going to give you the ability to do the things that will aid you into becoming your dream woman. The first habit that I've been given up is negative self-talk, which will basically change the narrative of your life, because the version of myself that I want to be and my dream woman is confident, is self-assured, and that doesn't align with negative self-talk. I don't want to lie to you guys, this is a hard one to give up because you have to be intentional and mindful of the talk that you're having within yourself. We actually talk to ourselves a lot throughout the day, from the moment we wake up to the moment we lay our head to sleep, because our mind is basically its own commentator, commenting on the things that we're doing, we're seeing, we're experiencing, how we're feeling. It's interesting because 60 to 70% of that talk is negative. Well, in my case anyway, it's not as easy as I thought that it was going to be just by implementing positive self-talk, because even if you have positive self-talk, if you still have negative self-talk, that's going to dilute the positive self-talk that you already have. So I actually had to take some time to identify my negative self-talk. So I actually set aside 3 days to take note of my negative self-talk and write it down. Things like, I'm so fat, I'm not good enough, I always get it wrong, or I have the worst luck. All these negative things that I would be saying about myself or commenting about myself throughout the day. When I tell you, there was pages and pages filled of negative self-talk. I did not even realize the amount of negativity that I was pouring into myself on a day-to-day basis. So no wonder I was still insecure, and no wonder I wasn't as confident and self-assured as I wanted to be. I started reframing the negative self-talk. So if I caught myself saying, oh, I'm so fat, or I hate my body, I'll then reframe that to say, my body carried a miracle. I gave birth birth to a gorgeous baby girl. My body has been through a lot. My body is amazing. And just reframing that negativity and implementing that positive talk, that will make me see myself in a much more positive way, that will make me feel good and confident about myself, so I don't feel ashamed about looking at myself in the mirror, which is something that I've actually been adopting. Looking at myself naked in the mirror for a good 2 minutes. The more I'm spending time with myself and looking at myself in the nude, I'm actually embracing my so-called flaws or the things I don't like about myself and reframing that negative talk into positivity. Okay, the next thing that I'm giving up is not betting on myself. Do you know how expensive it is to not believe in yourself, to have self-doubt, to have imposter syndrome, and to have fear of not going for the dreams? That's the most expensive bill that you can give to yourself. Because again, when I think of my dream woman, she's successful and she's accomplished, but I feel like I've held back and I've obstructed my own success by having self-doubt, by not believing in myself and not betting on myself. There's so many things I've wanted to do throughout the years that I haven't followed through with because I've been afraid, because I have doubted myself, because I haven't believed in myself, and I have listened to that negative voice in my mind telling me that I'm not good enough, telling me that I'm going to fail, telling me that it's not going to be successful. I've held myself back and been my own enemy of progress and obstructed my own success. It's time to bet on myself and to believe in myself and to believe that I am good enough and to believe that I can do it and to not be scared of failing, because by being scared of failing, that means I'm not doing anything at all. Sometimes you have to take a risk and you have to take that leap of faith even if you do fail, because guess what? If you fail, you learn from your mistakes and you try it again until you become a master in that thing and you know what you're doing. And this is not something that's foreign to me, because when I listen to other successful people talk and they're explaining their journey to success, they speak about their hurdles, they speak about their challenges, they speak about their downfalls, which means failure is sometimes inevitable because that's where you learn. It just got to a point when I was like, Lorraine, no one's coming to save you, no one is coming to rescue you, and not even in a bad way, but I'm my own superwoman, you know, I'm my own superhero. I can do it. I just have to bet on myself. I just have to believe in myself. The more I'm giving up not betting on myself, the more resilient I'm becoming and the more I'm winning. This next thing might sound silly, but stick with me here. I am giving up accumulating so much mess or waiting until I have this huge mess for me to declutter and reorganize, because every so often I have to reorganize and declutter because I have hoarded so many things that I don't need, and I have accumulated so much mess in my closet, in my wardrobe, or just in the house in general, which just leaves me feeling decluttered in general. When I have a decluttered space, my mind is all over the place. My mind is decluttered, because something else that I then have to deal with is procrastination. When I'm looking at the mess, I just can't be bothered. Okay, I'm just creating reason after reason, creating boundaries which are preventing me from tidying up and cleaning. When I think of me in my highest self, I am as zen, calm, and stress-free as humanly possible. Of course, life has ups and downs, there's gonna be dips, okay? However, I feel like if my space was decluttered, was clean, was tidy, then inevitably my mind, my life will be decluttered. The next thing that I'm giving up is male validation, which is funny because I never thought that I was someone who needed, let alone sought after, male validation, but it's something that I realized at the beginning of 2022 and came further into light when I was in therapy, that some of my actions, behavior, and habits were deep rooted in seeking male validation. And this was essentially because I didn't know my worth and I didn't know my value, which meant that I did or accepted things which just did not align with me just to get that male approval. So even though deep down in my soul and in my heart of hearts I wouldn't be happy about certain things and certain behaviors and certain situations, I would just let them go because I didn't want to rock the boat, and because my focus wasn't on me and my worth and knowing my value, it meant that I was accepting things or doing things which did not make me happy And that's not to say that we shouldn't be compromising in relationships or even friendships, but it just means that you shouldn't do something that you don't feel comfortable with just to get approval, just to get some kind of validation. It can literally be something as small as what I want to eat or where I want to go. If something doesn't feel good to me, if something makes me feel uncomfortable, if something doesn't align with me and my values, then it's not for me. Then I'm not going to force it just to make somebody else happy, because that is pick me behavior. Okay, you're not being true to yourself, you're not being true to who you are, and most importantly, you're not maintaining your self-worth and knowing your value. The next habit that I'm giving up is removing limiting beliefs, and I actually spoke about this in my previous video of how I became the cycle breaker by removing limiting beliefs which were rooted from generational trauma and culture. But limiting beliefs are not limited to just historic beliefs. We create and develop new limiting beliefs as we go through life and experience new experiences, which means that removing limiting beliefs needs to be a frequent, actually a daily habit that you're practicing, so you are removing any barriers that are in front of you to become the best person that you want to be and to live the life that you want to live. So I've actually been practicing something called daily belief expansion, and this basically means I'm expanding the realm of possibilities in my life and removing any barriers and any limiting beliefs that I might have. We are constantly having internal dialogues with ourselves about our relationships, finances, careers, or anything that we're experiencing, and this ties in with my first point of self-talk, which means you constantly have to be removing any limiting beliefs that would have formed, whether subconsciously or consciously, because abundance is attracted to people who are willing to receive. So that means that you have to understand the source and the root of the limitation, and this is something that I actually experienced recently, either at the end of October or beginning of November, where I initially had the idea to do Vlogmas, and my initial thought was, I can't do it. And this is when I actually took pause and reflected about actually, why can't I do it? Why was that my initial thought that I can't do Vlogmas? And I started using my daily belief expansion to expand my realm of possibilities that I can do things and remove that limiting belief that I can't. So the root of me believing that I couldn't do Vlogmas was because I'm a full-time mom and I'm busy, I don't have enough time, I'm not going to be able to film, edit, upload on a day-to-day basis. So I just had to reframe this narrative to be like, okay, the purpose of me doing Vlogmas is me being able to share a part of myself with you guys as I prepared and done all these festive and Christmassy things for the first time with my daughter. So how was I going to be able to do that effectively without burning myself out or without undermining the quality? Okay, so I just had to find a way to make it work for me and my lifestyle. That meant that starting Vlogmas the day before the 1st of December and filming every single day was just not going to be sustainable for me. I actually started Vlogmas a whole week before the 1st of December because that then gave me time to film and edit a few videos way before the 1st of December, and that actually also gave me time to sit down and think about what did I want to share and make sure that it was aligned with myself and my brand and the kind of content that I was providing as well. So by using this daily belief expansion, I was able to remove this limiting belief that I can't do Vlogmas and reframe that and understand where was that coming from. Why did I think? Why was that my initial thought? And why did I immediately think and believe that I couldn't do something, and be able to reframe that in a positive way and actually change the narrative to being able to do Vlogmas. Yes, I was not able to upload every single day, but I uploaded a huge number of videos in December than I have ever done because I was able to reframe my mindset and remove a limiting belief. So the next habit that I've been giving up is following trends of all kinds, whether it's lifestyle trends or whether it's fashion trends. because the dream woman that I'm becoming is a trendsetter. I am a leader, not a follower. So when it comes to anything in life, I am not compelled or rushed to copy or do things that other people are doing just so I can keep up with the trends. Not feel like I'm falling behind, not feel like I'm missing something, and not feel like I'm not a part of something because I'm not following a specific trend. Because let me tell you, especially for fashion, trends will come and go. If you don't know your own style, and I think this goes with everything actually, if you don't know yourself, what you like, what makes you your signature, then you're always going to conform. There is so much freedom in authenticity and just being yourself and being the leader in your own life and being the main character in your own life. Listen, me as my dream woman, I am my main character, okay? I'm not looking at what this person's doing or what the world says I should be doing, okay? And even with content creation, for example, I create content in a niche of like self-care, self-love, and there's so many other different content creators who create the same kind of content. Even if I was to create a video with the same kind of topic that everybody else is doing, I'm going to do it in a way that's authentic to me. I'm going to use my own perspective and to use my own kind of creative spin, and not just to do something just because it's popular, and if I do it like this or like that, then I'll become successful. Because the times that I've tried it, because let me tell you, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I have fallen into that trap, okay, of conforming and copying other people and doing what other people are doing and hoping that it will work for me. It never worked for me, okay? It always flopped. 99.999% of the time, it always flopped. It did not have the same effect as that person because they were being original and that was authentic to them. But by me copying or doing something similar, it's not going to have the same effect on me. But when I do something that's authentic to me without following what other people are doing, without following a trend and following the crowd, it always has the best results. It always 100% of the time is successful. All the videos that have done really well on my channel have been something that I've either thought of and have been original, or has been something that I have done in my own way, or I've given my little Lorraine spin to it. So when it comes to anything, absolutely everything, fashion, lifestyle, you know, career, business, YouTube, anything, I am giving up following the crowd. I am giving up being a trend follower, being a trend magnet, but instead being authentic to myself, being a trend setter, being a leader. Okay, so this next thing that I have been giving up, I'm definitely calling out myself on this one, and that is being self-centered. And this is something that I'm not proud of, okay? But as an only child, one of the negatives, should I say, about only child is having only child syndrome, which sometimes I can put a positive spin on it, okay? Because selfishness is looking after yourself and putting yourself first, and we all need to do that. However, having only child syndrome means that you are in your bubble sometimes, means that you're just thinking about yourself and you're not thinking about other people. So I have been really practicing coming out of that bubble, thinking about other people, practicing giving, which if you guys watch my Vlogmas series, is something that I was really intentional about, okay? Thinking about people who are less fortunate than me and giving what I can and giving my time, but not just giving in the sense of giving tangible things, but providing some kind of a value, okay? My pastor, I always used to remember when I was younger, my pastor always used to say that you have a gift that you need to share with the world. And I always used to think, and I knew that my destiny was not on the pulpit, you know, like I never saw myself as a preacher or as a counselor of some sort. So I was always confused what he meant by I have a gift and I need to share that with people. Not until this year when I feel like I understood my why and my purpose and the value that I need to be giving to people, and I completely rebranded and reshifted my channel to start talking about self self-improvement and self-love, using my clinical experience and using my life experience to share with other people, to uplift other people. And even if it was just one person that would comment on my video to say, this was so helpful, thank you so much, you have changed my life, that meant so much to me. And it meant that I was walking within my purpose. It meant that I was thinking about other people. It meant that I was practicing giving back to other people, and not being self-centered by doing the kind of content that I just liked because I enjoyed fashion or I enjoyed a certain thing. But that was not my calling. That was not my purpose. So as someone who can be prone to a bit of self-centeredness, okay, due to my only child syndrome, this is something that I have been really intentional about. And to find the right balance between having some selfishness of putting myself first when needed, but also giving back to other people. I am so excited about my dream woman era, all the things that I'm learning, adopting, and most importantly, giving up. So make sure you guys stay tuned, because I'm going to be sharing more things that I am learning, bringing into my habits, and also removing from my life. If you have liked this video, do not forget to give me a thumbs up, as it really helps me out. And if you come all this way, thank you so much. But do not click off from this video without subscribing to my channel. Watch this video over here that YouTube is recommending to you, because I'm sure you're gonna love it just as much as you have loved this one. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, lovelies.